So in my last video, I went over an incredibly strong delve farm for week 1 of 11.2, and after some further testing, I have found what I think is not only an incredibly strong delve farm right now, but I think is going to be potentially the strongest delve farm when season 3 starts. And this farm is going to allow you to complete the 8 delves you need for your Great Vault in easily under an hour. A lot of these runs can be completed in under 3 minutes, and that's a fully completed delve in that time. Now, we are going to be using the new mechanics that come from the Reshi Wraps artifact cloak. So the first thing you're going to need to do this farm is to go and upgrade your cloak to rank 2. Now, completing the 3 first chapters we get in this first week will give you rank 1 of your cloak, and all you need is to get 3 more threads from a lot of different content. Now, how I went and got 3 additional threads is just doing any delves. You can go in pretty much any delve because I was specifically doing delves in Hollowfall, and I was able to get all 3 of my threads from the same delve all on tier 1. So just go run delves on the lowest difficulty as quickly as you possibly can, and that should give you the threads to be able to upgrade your cloak to rank 2, which is gonna unlock some new mechanics for delves. Now, first off, we have the mechanic that this farm isn't super focused around, but is still really good, and that's Flicker Gate. You'll randomly find these in delves kind of hidden in corners. They're just these like void portal that you go click on, and one of 2 things will happen. Either the portal will despawn, it'll give you some undercoins and a bunch of random materials, it can give Bran some experience, or it'll spawn a copy of Kaiveza. She's much weaker than the normal one. When you defeat her, she'll drop similar loot. She can drop like a piece of gear and some loot from the end of delves, but she'll always give undercoins and always give Bran experience, and these portals have a smaller chance of spawning the main mechanic of this farm, which are the Ethereal routing stations. And this will just spawn this bigger portal that you click on, and that's the main thing we're going to be looking at. But the main way we're going to be getting these portals is not through these Flicker Gates. That's just another way you can get them. Now, these Ethereal routing stations are these Ethereal gates you can randomly find in delves that when you click on, it takes you to a new room. You'll walk forward, you'll open up the door in front of you, and it'll be this one medium-sized room, and it'll give you some objective to complete, whether it's to kill 3 bosses or to kill 1 boss with a bunch of these orbs going through the room, or to clear out the room of enemies. Whatever objective it is, you go complete, and once that's completed, once you complete the objective in that room, the delve is now completed. You don't have to go back in the normal delve you were in and complete it. You have completed the delve, and not only that, but based upon the difficulty you're in, it will also give you the max rewards you could have gotten. So the Nemesis Strongbox affixes, where you have to go kill the groups of elites, and it'll keep giving you a better and better chest at the end of the delve, that will be maxed out at the end of this as well. So essentially, these portals or these routing stations are basically just ways to allow you to complete delves significantly quicker than you could complete a normal delve. They're not a guaranteed chance to spawn in a delve at all, so just running delves normally, you would only come across them sometimes, but in the farm we're going over in this video, you'll be able to come across them a lot because that's the main thing we're farming. Now, the best way I've found to farm these Ethereal routing stations, and to a lesser extent Flicker Gate, is to go to the Nightfall Sanctum delve in Hollowfall. This is the one where you start at the top of the stairs, and you can actually walk forward on this little ledge and see basically the entirety of the delve, which does help very much in finding these routing stations and Flicker Gate. But after doing a few hours of testing, I figured out how these routing station gates actually spawn, because I thought I knew in my previous video, but then I was pretty confused on how they were actually working until I finally did enough testing to figure them out. So to get these routing stations to spawn, it seems like you have to kill just a few groups of enemies. Now, it shouldn't matter what story this delve is on for that day. Pretty much all of them should work the exact same. So pretty much all you're going to do is run into this delve, you jump off the ledge in front of you, there will be some scaffolding below you that you can jump on so you don't die to fall damage, and then you're just going to to be jumping down and killing like 2 or 3 of the groups of enemies. Sometimes they'll be taken over by the nemesis groups of elites, so you may have to kill a group of those, but just kill like 2 or 3 groups. And after you're done killing those groups, you'll be able to check this one location that you'll see in the footage very clearly. You'll check that one location, and if the gate has spawned, you go take it. If it hasn't, you just right click on your character portrait and leave delve, and then once you've loaded back in outside the delve, you just re-enter another delve, rinse, and repeat. That's all you're really going to be doing. Now, there are 3 different locations. You can also find flicker gates at this starter area. There's one right below the scaffolding. There's one off in the corner, which you'll probably see in the footage. Then there's one off in one of the rocks in the water that you can also see all 3 of these locations from the start of the delve, but those are the secondary farm of this. For this video, we're primarily farming these routing stations. So again, you're just going to jump down onto that scaffolding, kill 2 to 3 of those groups of enemies, check that one location because it always spawns at that one location, check that location for the routing station gate. If it doesn't spawn, leave the delve, re-enter. And after learning how at least this delve is spawning these routing stations, I was able to get them pretty consistently. In fact, in the footage I'm going to be using for this video, I got 4 in a row, and that's not the first time I've gotten a handful of them in a row because I've been doing this on a bunch of different characters. They're actually somewhat common when you actually learn how they spawn, which again, just seems to be to kill a few groups of these enemies. And it's actually much faster if you can avoid any of the elite groups. Sometimes just based on the location or where these nemesis groups are spawning, you can't ignore them. But if you can, just kill the non-elite groups. And also what's super good about this delve is every story version of this delve has these locations that when you walk into, it'll spawn all of these projectiles on you, which are essentially ships shooting like a bunch of void cannons at you. And it just constantly spawns dozens of little circles around you. Depending on where you're walking, they usually just want to dodge out of. But if you didn't know, these projectiles hurt enemies too. So you'll see in the footage where I'm just walking into the thing that spawns all of these shots on me, and I just walk around the enemies and make the enemies get hit by all of these circles, and you kill even the elite groups very quickly. So that will massively speed up your time, especially if you're doing this on difficulties 8 to 11, which is what you should be farming this on. And this farm is good for a lot of different things. Obviously, at the end of the delve, if you're doing like tier 8 and above, you could get adventurer gear for maybe alts that aren't as geared. You'll also be getting just all the other random loot you'd be getting at the end of the delve. You're also getting the nemesis chest, which gives you guaranteed undercoins and a brand experience every single time. So besides the flicker gates, that's actually the only way to be farming brand experience if he's already leveled up decently, and undercoins, which are going to be super good in week 1 of season 3. But the really main thing you're going to be farming this for is getting your 8 delves on tier 8 or higher to fill out your Great Vault with the 3 different options. Because right now in this first week of patch 11.2, you can't get any hero track gear, but if you go complete tier 8 delves, your Great Vault will give you hero track gear next week, and you can fill up those 3 rows very easily using this method to allow you to go get that first hero track gear of season 3. And this is going to be the absolute fastest way you can do this and fill out your vault. There is no delve that I think you can complete on tier 8, even if you're super geared, in like 2 minutes. My characters aren't super geared, and I was able to do some of these in legitimately 2 minutes because it's just so fast to get these routing stations and go complete them. And I will be doing an update video if this is working the exact same way in week 2 of 11.2 and the start of season 3, because if that's the case and you're someone that plays a lot of vaults like me, this will absolutely be the best delve farm in the game, specifically for filling out your Great Vault, because doing 8 delves on like 10 different characters or something is a lot of playtime. But if you can get them down to 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is probably the longest runs I've had when I've gotten the routing station spawn, you can just do this on a lot of characters very, very quickly. And not only that, but once season 3 starts, you will also be able to get a lot more things from the end of this delve. So there will be be a lot of other farms you'll be able to tie into this next week as well. But that's pretty much the entirety of this incredibly strong delve farm. I'm glad I was able to finally figure out how these routing station gates were actually spawned. So again, you're going to run into the Nightfall Sanctum delve. You're going to jump down on the scaffolding in front of you, jump down below that, kill 2 to 3 of the random groups of enemies around. Make sure to use the artillery that spawns on you to kill them even quicker. And once you've done that, go check the one location you'll see in the video. If the gate is spawned, take it, complete it. If it's not, just leave the delve, re-enter, and that's going to be the whole farm. But that's all I want to go over. So thanks for watching.